Hello, this is Mindy from the Weekend Gardener, and today I'd like to show you how to stretch your gardening dollar by doing a simple cutting from an impatient. Now, believe it or not, toward the end of the season, you're going to be able to buy patients very, very inexpensively, and they're one of the easiest plants to take a cutting from. Or if you have existing impatiens, you can take your cutting from those also. But it's a great way of stretching your gardening dollar. Now, a lot of people will try to dig up their impatiens. You can actually grow them indoors for a fall, winter color. But instead of doing that, it's much easier. It creates a bushier plant if you simply take a cutting and let Mother Nature take care of the mother plant due to frost. So what you want to do is, the very first thing is you want to make sure that you pick a healthy stem, and it needs to have at least 2 sets of leaves to it. The other thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take an angle cut, and that actually creates a better root system for the cutting, and it's actually better for the mother plant because a straight cut will cause water to pool on it and cause the stem to rot. Now, you may notice that I have a cardboard egg carton. While I could have used a plastic flat, I could have used a terracotta pot, I really could have used anything I wanted to. I really like to use these cardboard egg cartons because once my cutting has rooted, I can simply cut slits in the cardboard and plant it into the planter, into my landscaping, and I'm done. Plus, it's less expensive than purchasing peat pots as an example. But you can really use anything you have sitting around your house. You don't really need to go purchase a flat to do your cuttings, stick your cuttings in. What I have here is I just have a general all-purpose potting soil mixture here, so nothing really fancy. So what I'm going to do, I've selected this particular stem that I like. It's got a nice healthy leaves on it, and they're small because this plant is young. So I'm going to cut it at an angle. And you know what, if you don't make the very first cut is the perfect cut, that's all right. You can cut it again, which seems to be going to be the issue on this. So the next thing that I would suggest doing is dip your cut into a rooting hormone. Now, if you have more than 2 sets of leaves, which I don't, you can cut the stem shorter, remove those excess leaves, but again, you want 2 sets of leaves on your cutting. You also want to remove the bloom because, believe it or not, this cutting will continue to send energy to that bloom. So make sure that you remove the bloom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this cutting in the rooting hormone. Now, some people like to moisten the cut. It's really indifferent. You can moisten the cut and get the rooting hormone on there, or you can just stick it in there dry like I've done. Quite a bit of that rooting hormone gets on that stem with no problem. And then you're going to stick your cut into your soil. Now, you can stick it directly in there, but you're risking the chance of breaking the stem, or you can use a pencil to make a little hole, or you can use your finger to ease that cutting in there. Now, the next step, once you get as many cuttings as you want taken, the next step is to water this. Now, there's a trick to this. If you water it from the top down, in other words, if you pour water on top of here, you're running a chance of rinsing off your rooting hormone. The best approach is to simply put this cardboard container in a saucer of water and let the cardboard and soil take up the water. That way you're not rinsing off your rooting hormone. Now, what do you do if you don't have rooting hormone? Well, it's all right. These are so easy to root. They'll root without a rooting hormone, or you can go to your kitchen cupboard and you can pull out honey. Honey is an antibacterial and antifungal, and it will protect the cut until it can root. And honey is a great alternative to a commercial rooting hormone. So, if you really want to stretch your gardening dollar, start taking some cuttings from Impatiens. So until we meet in the garden again, this has been Mindy from the Weekend Gardener.